This is Mushroom Gorge, the third course of the Mushroom Cup in Mario Kart Wii. Now, if you know or have seen anything about Mario Kart Wii, you would know it's pretty broken. Many courses let you do massive skips and still have the lap count. On Grumble Volcano, it's driving around a rock 3 times. On Coconut Mall, it's driving through a parking lot. And for Mushroom Gorge, well, we'll get to that. This is the history of the Mushroom Gorge Ultra Shortcut. Mario Kart Wii was released on April 10th, 2008. Right as the game came out, people started doing time trials and improving their best times. The first ever known time for Mushroom Gorge is a 149.385 by, well, I'm not too sure. Looking at the video, you can see he picks Funky Kong in the Flame Runner. This was quickly found out the fastest combo in the game. You can also see he is doing a lot of mini turbos. A mini turbo is by pressing R to hop and holding it in the direction that you want it. And blue sparks will form under your tires, and if you release R, you will get a small speed boost. Here he is doing what is called a trick. If you go off almost anything in the game and shake if you're using the Wii remote or D-pad if you're using the controller, he will do a trick, and when you land you get a speed boost, similarly to a mini turbo. Near the end of the lap, he does what is called a Mushroom Gorge gap jump. In a time trial, you get 3 mushrooms, and at the end of the course, there's a gap in between the road and the other side. By using the mushroom and hopping at the right time, you can completely skip the loop at the end of the lap. And that's about it. He repeats that 3 times to get a 149.385, which was completed just 2 days after the game came out. After that, there were a few times claimed but no surviving video of these runs. What there is a time of 147.023 by not really sure who. In this run, he used the same road and strategy, he just drove a bit faster and did sharper turns. By this time, I should talk about what wheelies are. Doing a wheelie increases your speed, so all runs that we will look at will be trying to do as many wheelies as possible. The next run that we can look at is a 146.171, same general route and strategies, use just sharper turns and doing more wheelies. Then a bunch of people took turns trading the record, including Kira, Sinna, Maniac, Dude, and LZ, when it was finally taken under 145 by a player named Yavrion. This is when the story takes a turn. By this time, players were exploiting the checkpoint system. On June 1st, a guy named Ridley posted that he had gotten the 10-second lap on Grumble Volcano. Near the end of the track, you can jump onto this rock, drive around it. And for some reason, it will count the lap. No one knew why. On June 21st, 2008, Mushroom Gorge was broken in the same way. The first run with the trick was a 55.141, a pretty big cut from the 145 from before. This is the Mushroom Gorge Ultra Shortcut. You go forward to start the race, use the mushroom and bounce off one of the mushrooms, and hit the wall and start climbing the wall, passing the finish line and going straight to the end of the track, and driving past the finish line, counting the lap. But why does it count the lap? The game should have realized that you just went from in front of the finish line and going straight behind it. It's not that simple. Here's a map of Mushroom Gorge checkpoint system. There's a rule for the checkpoint system. If you are in a checkpoint box, the box behind you will be loaded and ahead. So when you do the jump and climb the wall, you are in checkpoint 1. The checkpoint behind the finish line is loaded, so when you cross the line for the last checkpoint, the game updates you right behind the finish line, so the lap counts. The next record we are going to look at is a 47.98 done by Alex. In this run, he actually did the jump a bit before on this mushroom instead of the one by the bridge, saving a few seconds. He also had better driving and better lines. The next change to the shortcut will come by the player named Cookie on June 4th, 2010. Named the Cookie Strat. By riding the mountain a bit higher, you can dive and drop down a lot closer to the finish line, saving a few seconds. He was able to get a 38.62 by using this strategy and also driving a bit better. On March 14th, 2011, OJ discovered something that would change the Mushroom Gorge shortcut forever. He found out by using the Quacker because it has a bigger hitbox, and by using motion controls to get better motion on the mountain, he could actually stay on the mountain for the entire first lap. With that, he got a time of 32.959. But then, people figured that you could be able to stay on the mountain for the entire first lap. Can you stay on the entire race? Many people tried, and the months went to years, when finally, on May 5th, 2011, a player by the name Kenny was able to stay on the mountain for 2 laps and get a 29.912. But still, the 3 laps on the mountain had to wait. Until years later, on June 27, 2018, a player by the name Idris was able to stay on the mountain for the entire race and got a 24.799. But he ran into the other mountain at the end of the race, costing a second or 2, but it was still a record. But who was going to beat it? Well, just 4 months later, Bryce was able to get a time of 24.797, just 2 milliseconds from Idris' world record. After that, Bryce and Idris went back and forth with the record until Idris broke the 20-second barrier with a time of 19.758, set on February 4th, 2023. And that is where the world record stands today. I'm not sure how much more the time can go. Looking at the 19.758 by Idris, he had no mistakes. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Thanks for watching.